Hello and welcome back to another episode of Boys and Polos. Except this is the first episode we're posting on YouTube. Yes, we have made a new YouTube channel. It is called Boys and Polos with the colon and then Premier League podcast, so people know the Premier League podcast. I am Paul, and I'm here with my co-host.
Gavin. Just a little intro from us for the people listening to this on YouTube, maybe first timers. I'm a really biased Spurs fan, and yes, I'm very disappointed about yesterday. Yeah, just the fact.
I am unfortunately a Man United fan. Do not talk to me about Sheffield United. If I hear
Get
that name,
clowned.
be quiet. Be quiet.
Clowned.
Be quiet. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Let's move on. All right, we have the agenda for today. We have scores around the grounds. Basically, just looking at the scores this past week, we got hot and not. So hot and not is going to be our hot player of the week, the best player that we think performed the best this week, and then the not player of the week, or really anybody in the Premier League. It could be a team, could be a manager, could be just one player, just the person who played worse or performed the worst.
Yep.
Then we have over and under reaction. Pretty fairly simple. It's in the name. Is it an overreaction? We're gonna give like a topic, overreaction,
like a
or an
hot take.
underreaction. Exactly, a hot take. Like and subscribe. You have 5 seconds to subscribe. 5, 4.
Sorry, we wrote that in the Google
two,
Docs.
one.
Sellout time. Sorry, we had the sellout time segment. Yes, that will come. But then we got the look ahead, which is our glance at the games that will be happening actually tomorrow, but we'll call it next week. But yeah. So we're gonna look at some games coming up.
All right, we got the scores around the grounds. For Tuesday, we had Leeds versus Newcastle. Leeds taking not so impressive, but well-deserved 2-1 win against Newcastle, who have recently been in a slump.
Yeah, they're just not playing their brand of soccer. I mean, they're just not performing. You lose to Sheffield. You lost to Arsenal. Granted, Arsenal is good, but Leeds too. They're both bottom half teams. Love Leeds, love how they play, but that's a bottom half team that if Newcastle wants to stay in the Premier League, they need to win. They've been dropping games as of late, and you can't lose that.
Definitely.
That said, great goal by Jack Harrison to secure the dub for them.
What a man. Love Jack Harrison. Love that man. But next game, we got West Ham versus Palace. West Ham taking a 3-2 win over Palace. Palace haven't been able to get in a groove. I mean, it's like almost every season Palace are a mid-table club. They're not really fighting for relegation, but they're definitely not contending for any top 5 spot. They're just in the limbo, right? They could get some big wins sometimes, and then they'll take some really stupid losses. But this one was a tough opponent in West Ham, who have been playing well recently. What place are they in? They're in 5th place right now, so it's pretty impressive for them. Obviously, there are other teams with game in hand or 2 games in hand, but still impressive this season from West Ham.
Yeah, we've talked about West Ham a lot. For those of you who have listened to us before, we love West Ham. Talked about them a ton. They're a really good team. They're really steady. And now they're in the top 5. Granted, they have played 20 games, and guys like Spurs has only played 19, and they're a game back, point back. Everton's only played 18. They're like a couple points back. The schedule was kind of messed up, but hey, good for them. They're up to 5th. And Palace, though, they scored in the 3rd minute and the 90 plus 2. So that and everything in between was just dominated by West Ham.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mess there in Palace. They definitely are just repeating what they've been doing for the past like couple of seasons, but it is what it is. Next on, we got Arsenal versus Southampton. A surprising, well, maybe not completely surprising, but a good win for Arsenal. 3-1 against Southampton. And honestly, I personally was surprised. I thought Southampton were going to put up more of a battle. I mean, I love the way Southampton have been playing this season. Definitely the underdog story in this season. But Arsenal came out looking convincing, right? They're looking a little scarier than obviously the tragic start they had in the beginning of the season. And
yeah,
Just so you
I
know,
remember,
we did clown them. We did clown them.
yeah, we were joking about how they could get relegated and how that would be like massive and crazy. But no, they're not gonna get relegated. I'm saying
Yeah.
that with pain in my heart as a Spurs fan. We will still have to play Arsenal next year. But yeah, Arsenal, they've been playing better late. Credit to them. I mean, they're doing a good job. They worked back to that position where they really want to be. And hey, they're fighting around in the top 10.
Yep, definitely. They're there. They're up there. And we got the last game for Tuesday, Man City 5, West Brom 0. Man City officially taking the number 1 spot in the league with a game in hand on
Yep.
the top 4. So
There was a time where
they're gonna run away with this.
Yeah.
I feel is not good.
there was a time when we were saying they could end up 7th or 8th. That is clearly not the case.
We did.
Man City is playing great as of late, but they have a couple big games coming up. I know they play Spurs in like a week or two. Like that could be a big game for them.
Could be.
It's all going to come down to how they can perform against the other really good teams, because as we saw earlier in the season, they lost to Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Like Man City, they've been absolutely destroying bad teams.
I mean, they have, but also De Bruyne with the 6 weeks out.
Yeah, that's gonna be a killer. Clearly wasn't much of a factor here, but then again, you're playing West Brom. Apologies to any West Brom fans. Don't know how many of you there are, but yeah, you guys are dropping for sure.
Yeah, it's a tough season for them, just coming up and then taking a hit.
Yeah, they don't have the players. They don't have the star power. They don't have that goal scorer. I think outside of like maybe Sheffield, I think they're last in the league in goals.
Yeah, they might be.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know, but
I mean, their goal difference is minus 33.
Oh yeah, no, they have the worst goal differential in the entire league with minus 33.
Oof.
They have scored a whopping total of 50. Oh wait, no, wait, what is that? 15 goals. Oh
15.
my, they're insane. But they've let up 48 goals, clearly by far the most in the Premier League. But yeah, that's not what you want to be seeing.
Maybe don't need a striker. Maybe you need a whole defense.
maybe you need defense over there. But yeah, that's not what you want to be seeing out of them.
Definitely not. Let's move into Wednesday's games. We got Chelsea drawing with Wolves, a 0-0 stand down there. I mean, it was expected to be a decent game. I mean, first game for Thomas Tuchel, right? Chelsea fired. They sacked Frank Lampard, brought in Thomas Tuchel, the former PSG manager, and first game he gets a 0-0 draw against Wolves. What do you expect there?
That's a game they should win. Or wait, I thought Lampard was sacked after that game, but I gotta check the exact timeline. But
I don't believe he was. I think Tuchel. I'm pretty sure that was Tuchel's first game. Yeah, that was Tuchel's first game.
Yeah. So obviously not what you want to be seeing, especially against a really struggling Wolves team. Obviously, the loss of Jimenez really hurts them. But yeah.
Yeah, that was Tuchel's first game. What's his name? Lampard got sacked I think the day before, 2 days before. But it was already like, it was already gonna happen, right? It was pre-notioned that was what's gonna happen. You know, there wasn't much else he could do. I mean, tough luck for Lampard. He just came. Where did he coach before? Derby County.
Derby County, and he didn't even get him into the Premier League.
He couldn't even do anything at Derby. It's not like he coached very well.
He wasn't even pulling the strings there. You all know that it was Wayne Rooney as a player coach pulling the strings over at Derby County. But yeah, that's really not what you want to be seeing from Tuchel, especially against Wolves. I feel really bad for Wolves. You know how much Jimenez means to that team, and to lose him for an indefinite amount of time. We just hope by the end of the season he can get back out on the pitch.
Definitely prayers for Raul Jimenez. And we move on to Burnley versus Aston Villa, a 3-2 win for Burnley. You kidding me? Aston Villa had that coronavirus break because they had the outbreak in the training ground and everything. All the players had to quarantine and whatnot. But Burnley getting a 3-2 win?
Burnley, we We love Pope and goal. Dude's a monster. But Burnley isn't known
6'8".
for their offense. There was a point where they were in dead last in the Premier League. But now, look at them. Pope's playing great. The offense is coming together, and they're beating really good teams like Aston Villa.
Yeah, I mean, they're in 15th right now. Personally, I think they're out of relegation zone, even though it's 15th.
It's just the way they're playing.
If they continue this, like Villa came back from that like little pandemic break, right? They had like a 3-game break because they couldn't play any games. They just seem to be stumped. They haven't been able to start up a new streak or like you know what I mean? They're not able to get kick started.
They're having a rough go there. Moving on to possible relegation teams, Brighton and Fulham. We really love Fulham. I love how many Americans that they've had on their teams. Clint Dempsey, now you got Tim Ream. But, poor Fulham. They just haven't gotten it going. We've had multiple not players out of Fulham because of their horrendous PK taking. But they've been getting a couple ties lately. Tied Spurs, which I was very sad about. But tied versus Brighton, I'd love for them to win that game to just kind of boost them above Brighton and out of relegation zone for now. But
overall, that was definitely a tight game. Good game. Yeah. Battle between the
a lot of shots too. That was a great
team.
job by their keepers to keep them out.
Yep.
Now moving on to my favorite game of the week.
I'm gone.
Sheffield
Bye-bye.
2,
Bye-bye.
United 1. Let's go, Sheffield.
I just want to curl up in a ball in the corner of my room. The other day
we were absolutely clowning Sheffield. Newcastle for losing to Sheffield. Paul, you were taking a lot of shots at them, and then United takes the loss. Great game out of Sheffield. Honestly, pretty lucky, but at the end, United was playing a hope defense. They were just hoping that Sheffield wouldn't score. And it was like the one guy playing the ball across got played right back out to him. Played another cross, got played right back out to him. Yeah, then he passed it through, and Burke smashes it into the back of the net.
Terrible. I mean, and then you had another play where I'm not gonna argue this because yes, we did lose, and I'm not being a sore loser, but that dude did push De Gea in the back just slightly when he was in the air, and he missed the ball and went to the back post for a Burnley player to score. But I'm just saying there was a little bit there, but
let's go Sheffield.
They won fair and square. It is what it is.
Yeah, so
we move. We're going to win the league. Don't worry. Man United will be back. Do not forget our names. We will be back.
I think the defense has already been forgotten. I think they might have left them on the plane wherever they played last. But yeah, let's go Sheffield. And the next game, the last Wednesday game, was Everton 1, Leicester 1. Pretty tight game,
Yeah.
Two good teams battling it out. Honestly, kind of what we expected. I mean, not the score we expected entirely because we both made predictions about those that were wrong. But, it's the game we wanted out of those two. So definitely a fun game to watch.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, both teams competing for that top 4 spot. So they're two good teams to watch out for. It's going to be an interesting season. Then the last game.
We can just skip the Thursday game.
My favorite of the week, Liverpool 3, Spurs 1. What happened there, Gavin?
They had a rough game. That's all I'm going to say. Actually, though, Spurs got dominated. The defense wasn't playing well. There were gaps. Kane got injured 2 separate times.
Yeah.
Son was not offsides. And Mane was offsides.
It was a few millimeters.
Mane was so offsides though on that Firmino goal just before half. He was so offsides, and they didn't review it. At least they got one called back. But that Son goal, great pass, give and go from Son and Kane, but that should not have been an offsides call.
What was Joe? What's his name? Joe Rodon or something?
Rodon, yeah.
Yeah, what was he doing? Oh my god. He played a good game, I'm not gonna lie. But like, what was that? The cross comes in from the edge of the box.
Listen,
He doesn't even touch it.
Spurs were missing a lot of players, to be fair. You're missing Reguilon in the back, who's been a steady force the whole year.
Yeah.
You're missing Doherty was hurt.
No, he played.
Aurier was playing injured.
Doherty played.
Yeah, no, he was playing injured though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they were playing through some stuff. But they were missing a lot of people.
But you can say the same exact thing about Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool.
Virgil.
But Liverpool just haven't. Liverpool. I'm gonna make this joke again. I've made it before. Liverpool is an arsenal of players. They have so many talented players. Diego Jota would be starting on so many teams, and he is injured, but he's a backup on Liverpool. Yeah. Like they have so much talent and money to spend, really. Klopp's a wizard when it comes to good spending.
Oh yeah, one of the best in the game.
Now to hot and not. Our hot player of the week was Tomas Souček. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I botched it, but yeah, he scored 2 in a decisive win for West Ham over Palace. Talked about that game earlier. Talked about how Palace got out to that early lead, and in the 3rd minute with Zaha scoring, and Souček 9th minute goal, 25th minute goal, and he got them right back into that game, and they got the dub.
Yeah, I mean, great signing from West Ham over the summer. Good work from David Moyes. Yes, David Moyes, the old United manager. I remember that man very well. But
yeah.
Great signing of Tomas Souček. He's playing very, very well. One of the best this season. I'd say, personally, over this summer, he's one of the best signings I've seen.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. There's a couple other guys up there with him. I personally love Reguilon. I personally love Højbjerg. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right again, but
he's playing very well.
Yeah, his goal.
I'm not even going to try and say
Højbjerg, his goal against Liverpool was insane.
That was a heater, bro. That one was nice. That was
a really good one. But yeah, he's definitely up there. Mendy, the Chelsea goalie's up there.
Bruno Fernandes.
But Souček.
Bruno Fernandes was probably the best signing this season.
Yeah, well, that was last year. Last season.
Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Yeah, but
Souček, great player that we have here. He gets goals somehow from the 6th position, from the CDM. He somehow manages to get goals. He's a very tall, strong player. Very good player for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's done a great job. And moving on to the not person of the week. Well, we could have said the entire United squad because they did lose to Sheffield, and the last time Sheffield got a win against Newcastle, we did have Newcastle as our not team of the week.
I feel like we have someone bigger to clown today.
Frank Lampard got the boot in Chelsea, and come on, come on, the gift basket didn't work. We finally got confirmation. The gift basket did not work. I repeat, do not send gift baskets to the owners when you're not doing well. Apparently, it just angers them. They'd rather wins.
For people who don't know, Gavin, on a few episodes back, sent a invisible gift basket to the owners of Chelsea. He said, you know what, this is for Lampard, right? Lampard, you know what? Go send a gift basket to the owners. Maybe they'll like you a little more. They won't fire you.
It didn't work.
Did not work.
Clearly, yeah, no, it did not work.
I mean, but since this is our first episode on YouTube, you want to clown Chelsea and say exactly, because we've said this on previous episodes, but come on, man. Lampard spending over $200 million and not able to do anything with it. Where are they right now?
He can't even finish the season with $200 million signing.
They're an eighth.
Now, I'm not going to say he completely wasted $200 million because there were some good signings.
Mendy.
We like Havertz, but we do not like the Werner signing. He should not have joined the Premier League. He should not have gone to Chelsea.
He's
we've seen
not
that
the
before.
right fit.
we've talked about this before. That yeah,
Player.
we liken the situation kind of to Gareth Bale or Eden Hazard, guys that just should have stayed in their element
Yeah.
and stayed in their league, and when they left, their career kind of got killed. I'm not.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say completely destroyed, but it
And
took a
I
turn
mean,
for the worse.
it is a little early for Timo, right? Timo
Yeah,
Werner.
we're
It's
not going
very
to count him
early.
out immediately.
We can't count him out, excuse me, yet, but he's
He,
a player that did such big things in the Champions League for Leipzig and in the Bundesliga for Leipzig, but it's just like it's kind of sad to see in a way because he was just like one of the biggest prospects and now nobody wants to go near him. Nobody wants to buy him.
yeah, honestly, it's he's having a rough go. But
Yes, he is.
now moving on to overreaction, underreaction, where we're gonna give a hot take and we're gonna talk about whether we think it's an overreaction or an underreaction. So first up, Southampton. Are they finishing outside the top 7?
What place are they in right now? Let me check.
They're, I believe, in 11th with a game in hand.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah, they're in 11th, but they've got a game in hand over Arsenal and Chelsea. But then again, top 7, Everton's only played 18 games. Southampton's played 19, but they are only 4 points apart. But Southampton, they've dropped their last 2.
All right. I say personally, this is an underreaction. They can finish outside the top 7, and it's very likely right now, seeing as how close if you look at the table, it's super close. Like Man City are at 41, Liverpool are 4th and at 37. That's probably one of the closest we've had in a while.
Yeah, the last few years we've had just runaway seasons. But, Southampton in 11th are only like 12 points out of first place.
It's surprising though. Like last week they were in like 5th. It's like if you take a loss in this table this season, you drop down so much.
Yeah.
And then you got to work your way back up. You take a loss, you go all the way back down again. It's just a never-ending cycle.
Yeah, it's going to be a crazy year. We've seen a lot of teams that we don't usually see up really high. West Ham riding a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Like, there are a lot of teams that have been doing better than we usually see. And Southampton, honestly, I'm going to say it, they were on the losing end of that Højbjerg transfer. They were on the losing end.
Yep.
And they're doing better somehow because of it. Now, this is nothing against Højbjerg, but they're doing better without him. I think he's a great player, and Spurs is definitely doing better with him. But sometimes it's just a change in attitude, change in the locker room. But they're definitely playing a lot better than we've seen in past years.
Yeah, I mean, Danny Ings is an exceptional player. Obviously, yes, he is dealing with tons of injuries this season, but he's been doing so much for Southampton when he's in the game. So it's amazing to see what they've been doing this season.
Yeah, so overreaction, Southampton finishing outside the top 7. We think they can, but they definitely have a chance to get back into that top 7.
They have a chance.
Them in the top 5.
They have a chance, but in my opinion, I don't see them finishing top 5. 5, I feel like is too much. 7,
I see them
top
at
7. I could see them either 7. I'll see them between 7 and 10. They'll be in that area.
Definitely somewhere in there, but 7 in the top 7, not too far of a stretch.
Yeah, not too far of a stretch. It's possible. It's possible.
Newcastle getting relegated.
Ooh. What place are they in right now? Let me check.
Like 15th, 16th.
16th. Ugh.
And they've lost their last 5.
I know you're going to say underreaction because you feel like Newcastle is going to go down, but I don't see it happening. I see it as an overreaction. I think you look at Fulham. Fulham are in 18th, the last spot of relegation, and they're in 13 points. Newcastle are at 19. So I feel like the teams in relegation currently have like have so little points that I feel like it's almost near impossible for Newcastle to lose this, unless somehow Fulham have a turnaround season and Newcastle just lose every game.
Hey, on the other hand, though, we saw Sheffield quadruple their points in 2 games.
Yeah,
2
yeah,
games.
we did
We
see
saw them
that.
quadruple
We
their
did see
points
that.
total.
We did see that.
So I'm not gonna I'm like you said, I'm going underreaction because Newcastle, they're struggling and there's a lot of good teams. There are a lot of good teams. And Sheffield's heating up. I'm not gonna count them out immediately. I think they are still going to get relegated, but if they play like they have of late, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? It's a mystery there. It's fun on both ends of the table this season.
Yeah, it's definitely
Gonna
gonna
be
be a
good.
great season.
And
But
we got next one, Sheffield surviving relegation. Underreaction or overreaction? What do you think, Gavin?
I kind of said a bit of this before, overreaction. While they are looking better and competing, they would still need a lot to go right for them to get out of relegation. I
Oh,
mean, so
hell
many factors
yeah.
would have to help them out because
I mean, 17th points, which is 17th place, which is clearance, is Brighton right now, and they have 18 points.
that's just
18, and
it's gonna be
Sheffield
hard.
have 8.
If Sheffield keeps playing like they are, I think they can get out, but they need a lot of things to go right. And hey, if my predictions are correct, and Newcastle keeps dropping games, if Sheffield wins a couple, Newcastle loses a couple, hey, we don't know where we're standing towards the end of the season.
Yep. It's very far stretched. It's they almost need a miracle, but
yeah,
it could happen. You never know. You never know.
How many weeks ago? It was like 5 weeks ago that we were looking at Sheffield as a 1-point team.
Oh yeah.
Like they had 1 point. Now they're doing better. 2021, they've definitely turned it around.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully Sheffield could stay up because I'd like to see that team from last year back playing because that was a fun team to watch.
Oh, for sure. Love that team. That was great last season. Surprising
so,
as well.
Now we're on to the look ahead. But last week we picked a couple of what we thought were the biggest games of the week. Now, here's how the points work because we're going to tally them up at the end of the season, and whoever has the least points is gonna get punishment, like a forfeit.
Yeah. So we're predicting the scores, right?
Yeah.
Are we doing it by who wins or just the score?
So if you get the score right, if you pick the winner, you get 1 point.
Okay.
If you pick the correct score for one team, you get 1 point.
Okay.
If you predict the exact score, you get 3 points.
Oh, okay.
And then the guarantee, we each have a guaranteed win that we thought was definitely going to happen. And so my guaranteed win from last week was City over West Brom, which turned out pretty good since they won 5-0. So I start out with 3 points. But the thing with the guarantee is that if your team loses, you lose 3 points. If they tie, nothing happens. You don't get any. But it's kind of a risk-reward situation.
Yep. My biggest game was, well, not my biggest game. My guarantee, I put it on Chelsea over Wolves. I thought that Thomas Tuchel would be able to do something, but clearly not. 0-0 there. It was a draw. So no points for me on that end, and I don't lose any, so that's good. But
yeah.
The biggest games?
Our 3 biggest games last week, Spurs-Liverpool was there because, I mean, it's Spurs versus Liverpool. That's a huge game for the title race.
Mm-hmm.
But I said 3-1 Spurs because, once again, I am the biased Spurs fan. I put 3-1 Spurs. So I didn't get any points out of that one. I picked the score right, just flip-flopped, so no points for me.
I put 1-1. I thought it was going to be a lot tighter than that, but I do get 1 point because Spurs did score 1. So I got 1 point.
So he gets a point. So, but then another game was Leicester versus Everton. I said 2-1 Leicester.
I said 2-0. I said 2-0.
Yeah.
But,
so I do get a point because Everton only scored 1. but Leicester only scored one, and it was a tie, so no points. 1 point for me.
1 point for you from that one. And then we had the last game that we thought was the biggest. Burnley versus Villa. Not many people thought it was going to be big. Turned out to be one of the best games this week. But
Yeah, definitely.
you
Fun game to watch.
predicted
I
0-1?
predicted. We both predicted 1-0 Aston Villa, and obviously 3-2 Burnley. So neither of us got any points from that. So at the end of the week, our total is 4-1 me. So
Because you got that guarantee, man. It's that
looking pretty
guaranteed
good.
one.
Looking pretty
Ah,
good.
but
Then we got this week's
yeah,
biggest games.
let's get into it.
So we're gonna place bets on these 3 games: Southampton versus Aston Villa,
Mm-hmm.
Liverpool versus West Ham, and United versus Arsenal.
All
So
right.
starting off, Southampton versus Villa, it's a huge mid-table matchup. 2 teams that need to get back on track after losses that they really should have won, games that they should have been at least closer in, and not let those games get away from them. But they're both fighting for top 7. I'm gonna go with a 1-1 draw. Actually,
Okay.
I know it sounds weird, but I think 1-1 is a pretty reasonable statement because I think Southampton isn't playing their very best right now,
Mm-hmm.
but neither is Aston Villa. So 1-1.
Looking at the last Villa game, I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for Southampton. I just feel like Villa are in a bit of a slump right now.
All right. So now on to Liverpool versus West Ham. I hate Liverpool. So go West Ham. 2-1 West Ham.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
Are you
They're-
trying to lose?
No. 2-1 West Ham. And hey, I've got a cushion, so I think I'm good. I think I'm good.
Okay. We'll see. Don't worry. I'll make a comeback. By the end of the season, you'll be doing the forfeit. Watch out. But Liverpool versus West Ham, I'm going 3-0. Nah, 3-1. 3-1 Liverpool. Same score as last game.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I see them
Okay.
dominating it.
Okay.
Now,
now
probably the
United
biggest
versus
game.
Arsenal. I think I know what you're gonna put, but United needs to right the ship. They need to fix something after that embarrassing loss to Sheffield. And Arsenal is red hot. As much as it pains me to say, Arsenal is red hot right now.
Oh yeah.
So
They are
I
playing
wouldn't want to
very
bet
well.
against them. I'm actually gonna go 2-1 Arsenal. Yeah.
You said what?
2-1 Arsenal. They're playing. How many games in a row have they won? How many?
Okay.
They're out of their last 5, they've won 4, tied 1.
All right.
So
I'm gonna switch that around. I'm gonna flip-flop it on you. 2-1 United.
United's defense is so bad though. It's so bad. It hasn't looked that bad since they lost 6-1 to Spurs.
Oh, be quiet.
Yeah, I'm always gonna bring that up, by the
Yeah, I
way.
know you will. All right. Now, what about the guarantee game? Who's gonna be your guarantee?
I gotta stick with the biased Spurs fan theme, and I'm gonna go Spurs over Brighton.
All right, Spurs over Brighton. Obviously, you don't need a score for that. It's just if you get it right. For me, I'm going to go. Ooh, this is a tough one. I wanted to do Chelsea over Burnley because I don't know why. I keep picking Chelsea, but I'm not going to do that because Burnley have been playing well. I'm going to go with the safe one, City over Sheffield. I
mean, is it that safe? A Manchester team facing Sheffield? Is it that safe?
If Sheffield win, that would be great for me. I mean, I'd be happy. But
Sheffield would have bragging rights over the entire of Manchester.
Oh, go ahead. If you could beat City for us too, I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, no, I'm rooting for Sheffield in this matchup, but
City, it's almost expected for them to win like 5-0.
Yeah, I mean they're on a 5-game win streak. They're playing great. It's gonna be hard to beat them.
But let's give them the games coming up. So we got to look ahead for the games coming up. We got Everton versus Newcastle, which is going to be a good game. We got
Everton's gonna win that. I'm telling you right now, Everton is gonna win. Listen, we've had some bad bets on this show. We've
Very
had some
bad.
yeah. We've had some guaranteed wins where they have not gone the way we want them to. But I am telling you right now, Don't bet on this. Don't place a monetary bet on this because I'm not that confident. But Everton will beat Newcastle this week. Newcastle's playing like hot garbage, and
Don't worry.
Everton's playing pretty good.
Don't worry. I see Newcastle pulling out. I have confidence in them.
Yeah.
Okay, I really don't. But Newcastle, please back me up on this one.
Yeah, that would be nice to hand Everton a loss, though.
That would be funny.
Certainly help out Spurs.
Oh, yeah. You know what? Never mind. Don't help Spurs. Lose Newcastle.
Go Everton.
Then we got the next game. Fulham versus West Brom.
Yeah.
It's a relegation battle there once again. It's going to be a mud fight. Probably going to end 0-0 like the last Fulham game. Or was it 1-1? It's going to be a draw. It's probably going to be a draw, but let's move on.
I don't see that being such an exciting game, especially with 17 and 18 and 19 battling it out. Not seeing that as too much of an exciting game.
Then we got Palace versus Wolves. I don't know. It's another one of those bottom table mix-ups. It will be better than the relegation match, though. It'll be a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, both teams have talent. Game. I mean, I have high praise for Zaha. If he can really become the leader that his team needs and that premier goal scoring dual threat striker, I think Palace could be in a really good place in a year or two. But as of right now, Palace versus banged up Wolves team. I think Palace takes this one 2-1 maybe.
Maybe. I don't know about that one. I'm not trying to make predictions on that. But we got the next one. We got Chelsea versus Burnley. Also another game I'm not making any predictions on. I'm not betting any money on this game because Burnley are unexpectedly playing well and Chelsea are unexpectedly playing terribly. But you never know.
Yeah, I think Burnley actually is the upper hand in this matchup. I think Chelsea's trying to get used to the new coach. I think Burnley's playing well as of late. You got Pope in goal, who's just a monster.
Oh yeah,
and
man is like 6'7".
I think Burnley pulls this one out.
They could. It's likely. It is likely to happen. It's a possibility. It is a possibility. You can't say it's not.
Yeah, well, Sheffield as of late has proved anything is possible. So
exactly.
Anyway, next game, Leicester versus Leeds. That is going to be an interesting one because you've got Leicester, who it's either a win or a loss. They do not tie many games.
Oh yeah, so, I mean they have 2 draws this season, right?
And then you've got Leeds, who's a very big momentum team. We've talked about this before. Leeds, it's either they dominate completely or they get destroyed.
Yeah,
they are
one or
the most physically fit team in the league. They're definitely up there for most dangerous attacking teams. But yeah, this is gonna be a fun game to watch.
Oh yeah, for sure.
The only reason it's not one of the biggest games is just because it's not as important to the table.
Yeah,
with Leeds being bottom half. But that's gonna be a fun game to watch. I definitely want to tune into that one.
Next one we got Spurs. Your Spurs versus Brighton. It should be a fairly easy win for Spurs. Brighton are not playing.
Hopefully. Well. We're not gonna say that. Don't jinx them. We're not gonna talk about that.
It's going to be the easiest win of Spurs' life.
Hopefully.
Oh my god.
Next up, City versus Sheffield. Go Sheffield!
Woo!
I'm officially a Sheffield fan now. Yay! I don't believe Spurs might play them again. I'm not sure if they do, but
anyway, Sheffield.
Until they play them again, let's go Sheffield.
If you're listening, any Sheffield players, I am a United fan. I am angry that you beat us, but please beat City. I'm begging you.
Come on, get them bragging rights over Manchester. Let's go.
But that's all the games. That about wraps it up for this episode. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Leave a comment down below. We will be posting these almost weekly. We're planning on doing weekly, right?
Yeah. Whenever there's games, we're gonna try and post episodes.
Exactly. All right.
But yeah, leave a comment down below. At least on YouTube. If you want to see certain teams talked about more, if you think there's a certain hot take that we should go over and maybe overreaction, underreaction, if we wronged a player and hot and not,
Maybe,
tell us.
maybe. If you want a new segment, if anybody has any ideas for anything, let us know. We'll think about it and definitely get it in the next episode if possible. But that's it for today. Thank you for listening. On YouTube, our new platform again, Boys and Polos, Premier League podcast. But thank you and have a good one.
Thanks for watching.
Peace.